100%.
Okay, I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Very good.
Gelfarb.
Aye.
Mendocino.
Aye.
Iwers.
Aye.
Villanova.
Yes. Okay. Mr. Nardi?
I just have one more thing. The Hillside Avenue Bridge that was damaged when they were doing leaf collection. I inquired about that, and right now the Village of Mamaroneck's looking to have both sides done, both sidewalks done, because they're both in disrepair. But they want to get the Jefferson Avenue Bridge going, because that's been longer, so they want to get that situated before they start moving on to Hillside Avenue.
Hillside Avenue Bridge, the repair they're looking to do, the current condition doesn't pose a
They have it blocked
hazard?
off.
Okay.
They have it blocked off. The right-hand side is blocked off. A while back, I had taken pictures of it, but they have it all blocked off, so there's nobody can use that side of the sidewalk.
Thank you.
And this is 50-50 owned with Mamaroneck?
Yeah, but see, one side is they're going to look. It might be insurance because their machine damaged the sidewalk. So their machine went right through the sidewalk.
The end result will be, it'll be a 25-25 because 50% is going to be paid by insurance.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll split the remaining 50%.
Okay. Mr. Nardi, thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks for the hard work.
Thanks.
There you go, Tommy.
Okay, next, Model American Community Project Committee. I know that this is something that Mr. Gelfarb is working on, and I think a great way to bring this into discussion. We'll read the resolution first, Hope, if that's okay with you.
Whereas, as part of its continuing effort to make the Town of Rye a model American community, the Town Board of the Town of Rye will seek out prospective tenants to lease space at the town office building located at 10 Pearl Street, for which part of the rent will be waived in return for providing significant community service to the Town of Rye and its citizens. Therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Rye hereby creates the Rye Town Model American Community Committee, which will be comprised of Supervisor Joe Carvin, Chairperson Councilman David Gelfarb, and Gregory Arcaro. And be it further resolved that this committee shall evaluate proposals from prospective tenants to lease space at the town offices located at 10 Pearl Street, for which part of the rent will be waived in return for in-kind community services. And be it further resolved that these services shall include, but not be limited to, providing a minimum of 10 hours per week, which can include making its employees available for Meals on Wheels, working at the senior center, or participating in 2 community-wide events such as the Rye 350 project, or contributing a large-scale recreation project or a significant beautification project, or the prospective tenant may sponsor a concert at Rye Town Park or any other community park. And be it further resolved that the committee shall evaluate proposals from prospective tenants and report to the town board, at which time the town board will make the final determination as to which tenant shall be selected and what community services they will provide in return for a reduced rent.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dave?
Yes. What Supervisor Carvin and prospectively the board are trying to do here is in furtherance of the model American community concept. What we would like to do is bring together the private sector and the public sector together in programs and projects that will work to the betterment of the community. Just in the town of Rye, for example, we have a significant amount of empty office space on our second floor, and we believe that in a time when not-for-profits are really strapped for cash, that a not-for-profit may well be interested in leasing space from us in turn for performing community service and for working with the town of Rye on projects that would better the community. And in that way, they would not have to put up cash and would not have such a strain on their already tight budgets. Some of the suggestions that really Mr. Carvin and Town Attorney Noto have thought of, we're working with Meals on Wheels, a project at the Senior Center, are working on a large-scale recreation project. We have many, for example, Ms. Goldie Solomon was talking earlier about concerts. Concerts would be something that a prospective tenant could work on. We are always in need of beautification work at both Rye Town Park and Crawford Park. The Friends of Crawford Park could always use some help. They're always hard at work trying to improve the park and beautify it for the community. So rather than leave empty space here, which could, which otherwise is really just a drain on the town, we think it would be a good idea to bring the private sector and the public sector together and to, exchange, in essence, exchange a reduction in rent for a tenant who would be willing to work with us on projects that we both would think would work to the betterment of the community.
How we thought about would they be responsible for any repairs or upgrades to their office space?
Well, that would really be, I would imagine, a separate issue. I mean, whenever any tenant comes in, there's always discussions about build-outs and what the landlord is willing to do for the tenant. That's something to be negotiated. This is really, I think it's being thought of as something more going forward, a reduction in rent on a going forward basis, as opposed to, what the terms and conditions of a build-out would be.
I think Michelle brings up a good point. Other than a clean space, painted walls, a clean floor, anything else would pretty much be on the renter. It's good discussion. Bob, you have anything to add?
No, I agree. I mean, if they're getting a discount on the rent, then they should take the facilities. They're not bad as they are, but if they want to make improvements, they're free to do that.
Mr. Arcaro, would you like to add anything to this discussion?
Just the point that I think is important is that in addition to talking about our first activity together being the space here in the building, I think it's the ongoing idea of a model community. I mean, how can we feel good as residents of the town of Rye, as Councilman mentioned, between public and private, but also community undertaking. So I guess I wouldn't want to focus on this particular exchange in space being defining the total Model American Community Project. Certainly, it's one aspect of it, and we look forward to working with the council, with the community, in identifying other ways in which people feel what would make it a model community. This would be one aspect, but it's not the only aspect. Just want to broaden that out.
Okay. Thank you. This certainly is a great way to think out of the box, and obviously, as mentioned, the second floor does have some usable vacant space. And the one thing that this brings forward is that not all businesses are rich with money, but a lot of times they're rich with their assets, which are volunteers and personnel and the time that they can afford to give to our community. So I think that this is a worthwhile effort, and once again, it's thinking out of the box, and I think that's great. That's what the community needs. So that being said, we've heard the resolution, we've had a discussion, and I'll entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
Gelfarb.
Aye.
Mendocino.
Aye.
Nyors.
Aye.
Villanova.
Yes.
Hartman.
Okay, and I'd like permission just to bring on a resolution. I'm sorry, it's written as a resolution, but I'd like to bring it on as a discussion with regards to Crawford Park and the boundaries of Crawford Park itself. It's come to our attention more than once that there are encroachments from some of the neighbors, or it appears to be that there are some encroachments. And we've had discussion out loud here at our meetings regarding the possible use or transference of Elm Hill Park. And I think it's important that we, as the town board, better understand what parameters we're working within when we talk about Crawford Park and the boundaries. So this is the reason why we're bringing this on for discussion. And if this is something that the board feels is a worthy endeavor, we have a resolution prepared to help bring that forward. So I open the floor.
Perhaps, could Town Attorney Noto, is there any, has anything been brought to your attention with respect to encroachments? Is there anything, can you get a little bit more specific on this?
Yeah, I think Bishop has